Sierra with Simply Report. I'm an AI assistant. If you need support or want to report human trafficking, you are in the right place. Could you please tell me more about the situation you'd like to report?
Yeah, this is Officer Ramirez with the Houston Police Department. We've got a female currently in custody who says she's been trafficked for about 5 years. Her public defender and DA are open to placement instead of jail time, but she's terrified of being released back into the same area.
I'm worried about my granddaughter. She's 16.
There's a girl in my class.
She used to be bubbly and social.
Hey, I'm an ER nurse, and I've got this patient who's come in 3
I
times
went into a
over the last
massage
week.
place near my office today.
Cars pull up at all hours
He always
of the
calls
night.
the desk for fresh
It's a
towels
couple
every
of
hour, all
30
night
something.
long.
She looks really nervous
hi.
and won't make eye contact.
My boyfriend said he was taking care of me. He sends me to be with other guys when he needs cash. He says I can't leave or he'll hurt me. I don't have anyone else I can call.
Thank you for trusting me with this. Your safety is the most important thing right now. If you can safely get to a hospital, police station, or shelter...
I don't want to go to the police. Is there anywhere else?
I don't control placements, but I can connect you directly to Safe House Project or provide information on how to access a safe house. Hold on. I'll connect you now.
What does Safe House Project do?
We are a national anti-trafficking organization. We train individuals to identify and respond to human trafficking. We help trafficking victims escape their trafficking situation and access safe housing, and we help fund and certify new safe homes across the United States. We also get to work with policymakers in order to help strengthen the domestic response to trafficking, ensuring that we are protecting victims, preventing trafficking, and seeing prosecution of traffickers and buyers.
Kristi and I met in a Bible study when we were both stationed in Norfolk, Virginia. When we launched Safe House Project, we didn't know each other very closely as friends, but what we really did know more than anything is that we both had a heart to see human trafficking eradicated in the United States.
The goal that we put out there as an organization is that we want to see trafficking eradicated in America by 2030. People have honestly looked at us like we're a little crazy. It's not a statement of what we believe we can do as one organization. It is a battle cry to the anti-trafficking field, to communities, to businesses, to government, for us to come together, because nothing short of that is a worthy goal.
So I believe that we truly can eradicate human trafficking. In fact, in coordination with the Safe House Project, we've been working on an eradication framework to really pull in all of those stakeholders that play a role in combating human trafficking. One of the challenges is that so many of those frontline professionals try to operate in silos.
Walking into this field, I knew there were gaps because I'd met them time and time again. I look back to how much I had to give up to get help.
So only 17% of police in America get any human trafficking training whatsoever. And if you're looking at actually skills-based training, it's only about half of that. So you're literally talking some 90% of law enforcement in America have no idea what to do with trafficking.
We'll see a kid, when they enter the system, kids stealing cars, a kid's picked up for prostitution. The system itself never asks the hard question, why is this child in this situation to begin with?
I wasn't locked away, I wasn't held in a basement. I attended the local elementary school. They just labeled me as learning disabled, quiet, and that I would sleep sometimes in class.
There were many patients that we knew they were in trouble, but we had exhausted every available option and had to return them to the community.
South Carolina only has 15 beds for female minor victims of trafficking.
Law enforcement gets jaded. Well, I'm not going to waste my time on that again.
The girls finally get released from jail, and the traffickers say, now you have to go get $600 tonight instead of $300 because you were dumb enough to get caught.
Everyday people are seeing this. It's happening in every community.
The community has lost faith that when they report something that it's going to be acted upon.
Concerns around the National Human Trafficking Hotline.
Spent 45 minutes on hold.
Sextortion, AI-generated child sexual abuse material.
Traffickers are using those
all parts of
It
our
sometimes leaves you feeling like you don't know what to
Every
do.
single statistic has grown, except the average age of a victim.
There's been 200 or 300 people that have messaged me and said, screw it, I'm just going back.
It's one thing to hear a survivor's story. What is more heartbreaking is watching them say what they need and not be able to access that because there is some kind of a systemic barrier.
We decided that if not us, who? And if not now, when? And God said go. And we said yes.
Hi, Brittany Dunn.
Hey, Brittany Allen Wilson.
Hi, Kristi Wells.
Kristi, nice
Pleasure
to
to
see
meet
you.
you.
Pleasure to see you both.
I'm
really excited
thank
to
you.
announce a new partnership. The Human Trafficking Task Force have joined forces with Safe House Project to certify victims service providers. We'll certify up to 20 programs.
When we began, it was really about raising money to fund safe homes. But then we realized that when we came into the space, there were no standards of care. And so certification was something that we developed with the field. But then we thought, okay, we're spending all of this money to help fund safe homes, but if the victims never know how to reach them, that's a problem. We knew that there was a national human trafficking hotline that was there to help. I'd heard maybe a couple of grumblings or frustrations, but really in 2017, by and large, nobody had an issue with it. Alia began working alongside me in placements, and so she and I would kind of tag team them. And I think we had done about 250 one year between the two of us. And we finally got to the point that we said, okay, maybe we need to actually make this an official program of Safe House Project.
There has been every positive adjective in the entire world used to describe our guest today, the one, the only, Lora Trent.
Wow.
In the beginning, when I would start to place survivors, I would quickly dive in. I know the perfect safe house. I'm going to go ahead and call them and they have availability. Okay, this is great. And there's a flight and I see that I could put you in an Uber and I've got it all taken care of. I'll do it on the phone. And then at the end of the day, the individual didn't end up staying. And I would say, why? What could I have done differently? And really the one thing, I needed to listen. The biggest thing was working with one of our survivor leaders. She would say, as a survivor, this is what the survivor is going through. This is what she's thinking. This is probably what she's going to say next, and this is why. Sometimes, like you said, they just want to hear what their options are, and they might not be ready to pull the trigger. That's fine. Save my number, because when you are ready, I want you to call me.
By herself, the next year, she served 534 survivors. We worked really quickly. By that November, we were going, this is growing exponentially, and she was doing it so well. I was getting calls from programs across the country, from survivors, saying she is an angel.
A national nonprofit, the Safe House Project, the CEO says they served 1,500 trafficking victims last year, and they're on track to help 3,000 this year.
We help make sure that in those 10 seconds of insane courage, when they look to escape early on, people said we were too small. And then we created a lot of really big impact really early on. And then when we tried to get into those rooms, then it was well, we don't know how you did it. And we don't know where you came from. And these numbers are bigger than ours as a national organization, therefore you must be lying. So it's just always been one thing or another.
We have been an organization that probably pushes the boundaries a little bit of what people have been used to. Truly at the heart of every one of our decisions is this going to help equip the field to be more effective at serving survivors and truly driving results that will help us eradicate human trafficking?
The discussion around the hotline in particular has become very political. It is becoming a hot button issue, and it is also no longer a secret or rumor that Safe House Project is going for the hotline.
The National Human Trafficking Hotline is a grant-funded program out of the Department of Health and Human Services. And what it is federally mandated to do is really two different things. One is connect victims to resources. And two is that it's supposed to receive tips from the community that then should be routed to law enforcement. Around 2020, we started to hear a louder grumbling of break of trust from law enforcement that said, hey, we aren't getting the tips passed to us. We started getting calls that actually were being transferred to us by the national hotline when they had cases that they just went, I don't know what to do with this. In 2025, 41 attorneys general actually wrote a letter to the Department of Health and Human Services stating that they are not getting tips routed to them, that this has been an ongoing frustration. And then we did realize that the contract was coming up for renewal in 2025 and that there would be an opportunity to apply.
We really wanted to hear from you all as we design how we're going to do this. How will it integrate into what we're currently doing, and then what do we need to be building out to be effective in doing it?
I wish Lora was tripled, and I wish there were 3 of hers for all of our times. Even if it's not bad, even if it's just somebody being
We knew we could serve survivors with excellence, but the part that we didn't have was the solution for routing tips to law enforcement. But a few years ago, a fascinating gentleman came into our world. He's one of 5 gentlemen who stood up the Department of Homeland post 9/11, and he's also the one who wrote the behavioral matrix for the FBI post 9/11 to be able to identify where somebody was on the spectrum of extremist to terrorist. And he came to us years ago and said, listen, I want to work with you all to create a behavioral matrix to be able to identify where somebody is on the spectrum of grooming to full control trafficking. My brain is not the data brain, but Brittany's is, thank God. And so she jumped in with Bruce and began working on this behavioral matrix with over 700 different behavioral indicators of trafficking. About 2 years after they began that, we had met another technologist who's brilliant in the world of AI and laid AI on top of this behavioral matrix. And what it allowed us to do was create this multi-channeled AI-powered tool. So it's web-based, it's app-based, it's phone, and it's text, where anybody can engage with the chatbot and share their suspicions about trafficking, but they don't have to be a trained observer. They just have to be concerned. And so as they're sharing what they're seeing, it's doing something called natural language processing, where it takes the information that they're sharing and marries it against the behavioral matrix to rank the likelihood of this being a trafficking situation. And so once they have completed the chat, within seconds, that information is packaged and routed to dashboards that are accessible by law enforcement.
Went to the roof. It's really nice up there. We took photos of the Golden Dome and we learned some Iowa history. Today we're in Des Moines, Iowa, and we're doing something called Operation Coast to Coast, an effort with states all across America, states, local jurisdictions, county jurisdictions, to really come together and to combat human trafficking. If you're just gonna go out and find victims, that's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We should be doing that. That's part of what we're doing, right? But we also have to get them into services very, very, very quickly, or we find that they pretty much go right back to where they were. So with Delta Airlines and with the Safe House Project, they can kind of coordinate this advocacy side of the house. Delta helping with transportation if somebody needs to go to a shelter in another state or go home.
We've been briefed on all of the different venues where these activities are going to be happening and where the raids are going to be happening, which helps us understand a little bit of a better picture of what type of victim or survivor we might be encountering. We've been talking to the programs. We've been making sure that our emergency support programs are ready. So we've been prepping, we're ready. We've got teams on standby, and we're ready to support in any way we can.
And a Fox News alert on a massive human trafficking bust. It happened yesterday across nearly 24 states. Thank you both for being here.
We found 69 adult trafficking victims.
Actually had the opportunity to go on to national news and share about the operation, but also to share about Simply Report.
Kristi, the Safe House Project, how can people help? What do you need?
To be part of eradicating trafficking, we can't solve a problem that we can't see. And so we have a new tool called Simply Report that anybody can download on the Google Play Store or on the App Store that allows
and
people
within
to report
minutes,
their suspicions.
by the time I went from my hotel room down to the hotel lobby, I had over 50 reports of human trafficking, with hundreds more that came in shortly behind it, of people reporting things that they had seen in their community, things that they had seen 5 years ago. There was a law enforcement officer who actually used it and said, I'm on the scene and I think this person might be trafficked. What questions should I be asking them?
Simply Report is a brand new, first of its kind AI-powered
Simply Report.
AI-powered
app
It really
for
lets
users
everyday
to
Americans report anonymously and in real time.
Set to dashboards that are accessible by
Designed
law
to help
enforcement
survivors find that freedom, but communities
We need the
respond
hotline
smarter.
system that is fast and actionable.
During the first 4 months of Simply Report, we had over 8,000 signals that came through, over 1,200 cases that were reported, and over 600 victims that received services. That is game-changing.
And so at the end of the day, it always comes back to that if I can put a tool in the hands of the American public that allows them to validate their assumptions and then gets it routed to the proper law enforcement agency, I believe that we are going to see more individuals identified younger and younger, and we are going to move past this point where people have to live in exploitation for years. But let's really get to the root of it and start to stop it before it even happens.
We are continuing the work with the attorneys general to mobilize solutions like Simply Report into their states for effective reporting and routing to law enforcement. So Mississippi was the very first state to announce their partnership with us through Simply Report. And according to the Attorney General's office, they have gotten 0 tips since 2023 coming through. And so the amount of tips that we've had coming through already, it's already just a night and day difference for them. The investigators are so excited to just see information and to see data and to say, we've got the investigative teams, we've got the DAs lined up for prosecution, but their void was the information flowing in from the community. So we're going to continue this work regardless of the hotline contract because the work needs to be done, and we have a solution that's going to change the way the U.S. responds to trafficking.
Lord, we are here to wage war. Lord, we know that you also go before us and that you crumble broken systems. Lord, we are willing to go. We are willing to do the hard things. We are willing to step into the places and spaces that you've called us.
We drive unity into this nation, not division. But Lord, we are not peacemakers.
No, we're not peacekeepers.
We're not peacekeepers, Lord. We are peacemakers, and we will say the hard things.
It feels like a shift in where we've been as an anti-trafficking movement and where we are headed. We always say that which we tolerate is that which we give permission to exist. And a lot of people have tolerated a broken system for a very long time. And they've come forward, they've brought their ideas, they've brought their solutions, they've collaborated on this project, and now we get to bring it forward.
So today is about unity, it's about collaboration, and it's about bringing hope, freedom, and a future to every single American.
Simply Report is the connective tissue between disciplines. It is the tool we've all needed but never had.
This coalition represents a new approach, bringing together law enforcement, nonprofit leaders, and innovative technology to take meaningful action.
I know what it feels like to be invisible in plain sight. I know how long it takes to find someone who truly sees you. And I know that it doesn't have to be that way.
At Safe House Project, we believe we can end human trafficking in our lifetime, but we won't do it by recycling broken systems.
We need tools that work, data we can act on, and systems that are built for real-world response. Simply Report is that system.
Together through Simply Report, we are building a world where exploitation is exposed, survivors are seen, and where justice is not just a hope, but a reality.
So download it, use it, tell your communities, equip your teams, because the more we use it, the more we uncover. And the more we uncover, the more lives we save.
Safe House Project has gathered some amazing key players together, survivors, allies, agencies, organizations, government, politicians, law enforcement, educators, and they're uniting everybody. Some people are satisfied with a 50% reduction. Some people will be satisfied. They'll say, oh, we've done great work. Safe House Project is like, no, that's not good enough. We gotta get, our numbers gotta be lower. We're eradicating it. We're getting rid of it. And to think of a world where no one's bought or sold for sex or labor. It's such a hard concept to think about. And then I watch all the things they're doing.
I love working with Brittany and Kristi, seeing everyday, normal, regular people engaging in the hardest issue. I mean, I really think this is the hardest social issue we'll ever face. And it is hard to keep going because it feels like evil just wins, but I think Brittany and Kristi focus on the positive and the good and the change, and it makes you want to do it well.
We have gone and seen the darkest parts of this world, but I would also say that we have seen some of the biggest miracles in this world. And I would rather be on the side of miracles and watching God show up and show off every single day than I would to back down from the fight.
Yeah, there may be times that my feelings get hurt, that I'm frustrated, that traffickers are, sending pictures of my kids and telling me they're gonna hurt them. That's hard. It's nothing compared to what these survivors have gone through. And their courage and their determination every day to get up and fight against an industry that exploited them.
You have to trust that God has given you the tools in your tool belt, that He has prepared a place for you in this fight, and that there's an invitation.
For us to see the vision of eradicating trafficking by 2030 come to life, it has to be all of us together. It has to be a unified front. And so if this is the thing that stirs your heart, that wakes you up in the middle of the night, or that was a seed that was planted in you years ago that you've never known what to do with, just start. Start by downloading Simply Reports. Start by learning what's happening in your community, and then just keep going and don't stop.
So if you want to know where to start, help us increase identification by learning to report at simplyreport.com or downloading it from the App Store. And then invest your dollars. Your donation is what will bring hope, freedom, and a future to survivors of human trafficking and work to end human trafficking by 2030.